Hi friends, welcome to Lord's Public School online classes. I hope you are staying at home. Stay at home, then only we can break the chain. Today, I am here to teach you some basic English grammar. You heard the word grammar. What do you mean by grammar? Can you say a definition of grammar? There is a definition. Grammar is the science which deals with the correct use of language both in conversation and in writing. So here, I am going to teach you the basics of English grammar. First one is sentence. Look here, sentence. You are familiar with the word sentence and you are using a lot of sentences in your life. Here, what is the definition of a sentence or what is a sentence? Look at this sentence. A useful cow is animal, full stop. My question is it a sentence or not? Is it a sentence or not? Definitely you can say that this is not a sentence. Because this has no sense. A useful cow is animal doesn't mean any sense. Doesn't mean anything. But look at this sentence. This one is not a sentence. The cow is a useful animal. This one is a sentence. Why? Because it has a beginning, a middle and an end. This end is called a punctuation mark. There are three types of punctuation marks we use in sentences. That is full stop, question mark and exclamation mark. Then, what are the things which constitute a sentence? Look at this sentence. He eats a mango. Look at this sentence. He eats a mango. Here, he, subject, eats, verb, a mango, object. So, a sentence consists of a subject, a verb, and object. Okay? Then a punctuation mark, that is here a full stop. Okay? Sentence is a group of words which makes a complete sense. This one is a group of words, but this one cannot be called a sentence. Why? Because it has no sense. But this one is a sentence. Why? Because it has a beginning, a middle and an end. And it has a meaning. It ends with a full stop, a punctuation mark. Here, he eats a mango. It has a meaning. It constitutes subject, verb, object. So, which are the things we need in a sentence? They are subject, verb, object. Is it necessary? Is all the things necessary for a sentence? No. Look at this sentence. Boys play, full stop. Birds fly. Here, boy is subject, play verb. Only subjects and verb. So we can say that only subject and verb can itself constitute a sentence. Correct or not? Correct or not? A subject and verb itself can constitute a sentence. Okay. But look at this sentence. Get out. Here only verb. Am I right? Only verb. So a verb itself can constitute a sentence. So sentence is a group of words which makes a complete sense. A sentence consists of subject, verb, object. Am I right? Then subject and verb itself constitute a sentence. Sometimes verb itself can constitute a meaningful sentence or sentence. Okay? There are different kinds of sentences. Actually, there are 10 types of sentences are there in English. 10 types of sentences. Assertive, interrogative, imperative, exclamatory, simple, complex, compound, compound complex, positive sentence, negative sentence. But here, mainly sentence can be divided into 4. They are assertive or declarative sentences, interrogative sentences, imperative sentences and exclamatory sentences. Once again, you have to learn the names of these sentences first. Assertive or declarative sentences, interrogative sentences, imperative sentences and exclamatory sentences. Now we are going to study different types of sentences in detail. Okay? Once again, the names of these sentences are assertive or declarative sentences, interrogative sentences, imperative sentences and exclamatory sentences. The first one is assertive sentences. Actually, this is very simple. The definition is very simple. It is a statement. These sentences are statements. What is a statement? Statement definition is very simple. It begins with the subject and ends with the full stop. Once again, it begins with the subject and ends with the full stop. A sentence which begins with the subject and ends with the full stop is called assertive sentences. The form is subject plus verb plus object. So many examples are here. He eats a mango, full stop. Sachin is a great cricketer. Akbar was a great Mughal emperor. The sentences that begin with the subject and ends with the full stop is called assertive sentences. You got the idea? These assertive sentences further be classified into two. They are affirmative sentences and negative sentences. Understood? Affirmative means positive. Negative sentences. Negative sentences. He is not a teacher. I won't go. Look, not. So, these are negative sentences which consist negative words. No, not, nothing, neither, nor, never, nobody, no one, none. Hardly, scarcely, rarely, barely, seldom, little, few. These words are called semi-negatives. No, not, nothing, neither, nor, never, nobody, no one, none. This one is negatives. Hardly, scarcely, rarely, barely, seldom, little, few. These are called semi-negative words. Once again, assertive sentence. What is an assertive sentence? Assertive sentences are statements. They begin with the subject and ends with full stop. The form is subject plus verb plus object. Example, he eats a mango, Sachin is a great cricketer, etc. Then further can be classified into two. Affirmative sentence and negative sentence. Affirmative sentence are positive sentence. He eats a mango, positive. He doesn't eat a mango, negative sentence. So negative sentences means which consist negative words. For example, he is not a teacher, I won't go, nothing is impossible. All these are examples of negative sentences. You got the idea? Assertive sentences. Definition is very simple. They are statement. If anybody asks you what is a statement, it begins with the subject and ends with the full stop. Identification is very simple. It ends with the full stop and begins with the subject. Okay. The next type of sentence is interrogative sentences. The meaning of the word interrogation itself is question. So, a sentence which expresses a question is called an interrogative sentence. The meaning of the word interrogation itself is question. A sentence which expresses a question is called an interrogative sentence. Okay. Interrogation is a Latin word. Question is a French word. And ask is the English word. So a question which expresses a question, a sentence which expresses a question is called interrogative sentence. There are many types of questions in English. WH questions, yes or no questions, statements with the rising tone used as questions, echo questions. I think 8 types of questions are there in English. But we have to learn mainly 2 types of questions. You all are familiar with these type of questions. WH questions and yes or no questions. WH questions and yes or no questions. Actually, the example is very simple. Definition: WH question begin with the question words. WH questions begin with the question words. Yes or no question begin with the auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verbs. Nothing is there. This interrogative sentence begins with the question words and yes or no question. WH questions begins with the question word and the yes or no question begins with the auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verbs. Okay. Identification is very simple. It ends with a question mark. Identification is very simple. Assertive sentence ends with the full stop. But interrogative sentence ends with the question mark. WH question begins with the question words and yes or no question begins with the auxiliary words. There are 14 question words in English. 14 question words in English. 14 question words in English. 24 auxiliary words in English. 14 question words. What, which, where, when, why, who, whose, whom, how many, how much, how long, how far, how often. These are the 14 question words in English. Then auxiliary words. 24 auxiliary words. Is, are, was, where, do, does, did, has, have, had, can, could, will, would, shall, should, may, might, must, ought, dare, need, used it. Begins with auxiliary verbs, ends with question mark. Where are you going? WH question. What is your name? When will you come? All these are examples of WH questions. Can you sing a song? Is it a pen? Are you a doctor? Will you come with me? Will you marry me? All these are examples of a sort of questions. Once again, interrogative. The meaning of the word interrogation itself is question. A sentence which expresses question is called an interrogative sentence. There are mainly 8 types of questions, but we have to learn 2 types of questions. WH questions and yes or no question. WH questions begins with question word and yes or no question begins with auxiliary verb. Both the questions end with the question mark. Identification is very simple, question mark. Okay, there are 14 question words are there in English and there are 24 auxiliary words in English. Okay, what, which, where, when, who, whose, whom, how many, how much, how far, how long, how often. Question words. Then auxiliary words is, are, was, where, do, does, did, has, have, had, can, could, will, would, shall, should, may, might, must, ought, dare, need, used it. I hope you understood this. This is over. Interrogative sentence over. Next sentence is imperative sentence. Look at these sentences. Get out. Call the witness. Please come with me. Don't smoke. All these sentences end in full stop. Okay. Get out, full stop. Call the witness, full stop. Please come with me, full stop. Don't smoke. A sentence which expresses a command or an order or a request or an advice is called an imperative sentence. Command, order, request, advices, threaten, warning, all these types of sentences are called imperative sentences. Look, get out. Get out is an order. Call the witness. A judge says. A judge said, call the witness. And a command. Please come with me. Please is there. So it's a request. Don't smoke. Don't smoke. A doctor said. It's an advice. So it ends with the full stop. Assertive sentence is also ends with the full stop. So this one is also ends with full stop. But look at the first word. Get, call, please. Please is not a word, it's just only an expression. Don't come, do. So these are verbs. So it is clear. A sentence which begins with the verb and ends with full stop. But assertive sentence, it begins with a subject and ends with full stop. But imperative sentence, verb and full stop. Here no sentences. But no subject. The subject is hidden here. The subject is you. The subject is you. It's hidden. You get out. You call the witness. You please come with me. We don't mention that you there. So it is hidden. Subject is there. Subject you. Hidden. But it begins with the verb. Once again, a sentence which expresses an order, a command, a request, an advice, threaten, warning is called an imperative sentence. Get out is an order. Call the witness, a command. Please come with me. Request. Don't smoke is an advice. It begins with the verb and ends with full stop. Please is not a word. It is just only an expression. You understood? I hope you understood this. Okay? The last sentence is exclamatory sentence. It is very simple. A sentence which expresses a sudden feeling or a strong feeling is called an exclamatory sentence. 2 types of exclamatory sentences are there. Normally it begins with what and how, 2 question words. But it is not question words here, it is called exclamatory pronouns. Here it is exclamatory pronouns. So begin with what and how, but they are not questions. But ends with the exclamation mark. This one has exclamation mark. Identification is very simple, exclamation mark. Interrogative sentence, question mark. This one is exclamation mark. What a beautiful flower, how nice it is. Begins with what, how, and ends with the exclamation mark. This one is called interjections. You are familiar with these expressions. Interjections. In Malayalam it is called Vyakshepakam. Alas, bravo, hooray, oh, wow, these words. The second types of exclamatory sentence begins with interjections, alas, bravo, hooray, oh, wow. Then we put an exclamation mark there. Finally, it ends with a full stop. Finally, it ends with a full stop. Two types. Once again, a sentence which expresses a sudden feeling or a strong feeling is called an exclamatory sentence. It normally begins with what, how, and ends with exclamation mark. Sometimes it begins with the interjections and ends with the full stop. Here we put an exclamation mark. Okay? So these are the four types of sentences in English. Let me sum up. Sentence. Sentence is a group of words which makes a complete sense. Sentence is a group of words which makes a complete sense. Sentence consists of subject, verb, object. For example, he eats a mango. But subject and verb itself can constitute a sentence. Boys play, birds fly, etc. But sometimes verb itself can constitute a sentence. Get out, shut up are examples of imperative sentence, not exclamatory, imperative sentence. But they are also called sentences. Sentence can be divided into four. They are assertive or declarative sentence, interrogative sentence, imperative sentence, exclamatory sentence. Assertive sentences are called statements. Statements begins with the subject and ends with full stop. Sachin is a great cricketer. Akbar was a great Mughal emperor. He eats a mango. All these are examples of assertive sentence. The form is subject plus verb plus object. Okay. Two types of assertive sentence: affirmative and negative. Affirmative means positive sentences. Negative means negative sentences, which consists negative words. No, not, nothing, neither, nor, never, nobody, no one, none, hardly, scarcely, rarely, barely, seldom, little, few. All these are examples of negative sentence, but they are also assertive sentence. Second one is interrogative sentence. The meaning of the word interrogation itself is question. Interrogation itself is question. Two types of questions, mainly two types of question: WH question, yes or no question. WH question: what, which, where, when, why, who, whose, whom, how many, how often, how long, how much, how far. Begins with the question words and ends with full stop. What is your name? Where are you going? How are you? How old are you? Why are you late? All these are examples of WH questions. Then yes or no question. Yes or no question normally begins with auxiliary words. 24 auxiliary words are there in English. You have to learn the number. WH questions 14, WH question words 14, and auxiliary words 24. Is, some, or, was, where, do, does, did, has, have, had, can, could, will, would, shall, should, may, might, must, ought, dare, need, used, it to. These are the auxiliaries in English. Can you sing a song? Is it a pen? Is it a pen? Will you come with me? Will you marry me? Shall I come with you? All these are examples of yes or no question. These are called yes or no question because the answer is either yes or no. Then imperative sentence. A sentence which expresses a command, a request, order, advice is called an imperative sentence. Normally begins with the verb and ends with full stop. Okay. Ends with the verb and begins with the verb and ends with full stop. Then exclamatory sentence. Sudden feeling, strong feeling. Normally begins with what, how question words, but ends with exclamation mark. But they are not questions, they are exclamatory sentence. And sometimes it begins with the interjection, alas, bravo, hooray, oh, wow, and it ends with the full stop. Here we put an exclamation mark. You got the idea? Assertive sentence subject ends with the full stop. Interrogative sentence question mark. Imperative sentence verb full stop. Exclamatory sentence exclamation mark. Not ends with exclamation mark. Here one exclamation mark will be there in the sentence. Okay. So in this way we can identify the sentences. Before winding up this class, I hope you understood what sentences are and different kinds of sentences. You can create sentences. You can write down different kinds of sentences. I am going to give you, before winding up this class, I am going to give you one homework. You have to write the notes. Accordingly, you have to write these notes. And one more thing you have to do, that is take a book and write assertive sentence. 10 assertive sentences you have to write first. Then you have to write affirmative sentence 10, then negative sentence 10, negative sentence, then interrogative sentence. You have to write WH questions, 10 WH questions and 10 yes or no questions. Then imperative sentence. 10 imperative sentences you have to write and you have to point out which one is that. Command, a request, either it is a command or a request or an order or an advice. Then you have to differentiate that. Then you have to write 10 exclamatory sentences. Okay, totally 60 sentences you have to write. Then you can learn these sentences. Okay. When we are asking a question, where are you going? That is an interrogative sentence. I am going to the market. That is an assertive sentence. So in this way, you can learn this sentence. I hope you understood this. What is a sentence? What are the different kinds of sentence? And you can also, whenever you see a sentence, you can identify which sentence it is. Assertive, interrogative, imperative, exclamatory. Assertive is also called a declarative sentence. Then affirmative, negative part. Yes or no? WH. 14 question words, 24 auxiliary words. Let me wind up this class. നല്ല വീഡിയോ ക്ലാസ്സുകൾ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കിട്ടുന്നുണ്ട്. ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി ഞാൻ പറയാം, ലോർഡ്സ് പബ്ലിക് സ്കൂൾ ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ സിറ്റുവേഷൻ കണക്കിലെടുത്ത് വളരെ ഗംഭീരമായിട്ടുള്ള ഓൺലൈൻ ക്ലാസ്സുകൾ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് തന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. അതിൻ്റെ ഭാഗമാണിത്. ആദ്യത്തെ ക്ലാസ്സിൽ നമ്മളൊരു കോഴ്സ് ഇൻട്രൊഡക്ഷൻ എടുത്തു. ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ഗ്രാമർ ക്ലാസ്, അടുത്ത ദിവസം ഒരു പ്രോസ് ലെസൺ, അതിനുശേഷം ഒരു പോയം, അങ്ങനെ നമ്മൾ എടുത്തു പോകുന്നതായിരിക്കും. ക്ലാസ് റൂമിൻ്റെ 4 ചുവരുകൾക്കപ്പുറത്തും ലോകമുണ്ടെന്ന് മനസ്സിലാക്കി തരാൻ വേണ്ടിയാണ് നമ്മൾ ഈ വീഡിയോ ക്ലാസ്സുമായിട്ട് വരുന്നത്. അതുകൊണ്ട് വീട്ടിലിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ പഠനം തുടർന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുക. നിങ്ങൾ ഈ ക്ലാസ് കണ്ടതിന് ശേഷം നിങ്ങൾ കമൻറ്റ് ചെയ്യുക. കമൻറ്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ എനിക്ക് മനസ്സിലാവും നിങ്ങൾ ഈ ക്ലാസ് കണ്ടെന്ന്. ഒരുപക്ഷെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇതിൻ്റെ വർക്കുകൾ എനിക്ക് അയച്ചു തരണമെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ എൻ്റെ നമ്പറിൽ നിങ്ങൾ അയച്ചു തരിക. മൈ ഫോൺ നമ്പർ ഈ നമ്പറിൽ നിങ്ങൾ വാട്സപ്പ് ചെയ്യുക. ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി 9847928178. ഒരു ഫോട്ടോ എടുത്തിട്ട് ചെയ്തതിന് ശേഷം ഫോട്ടോ എടുത്തിട്ട് വാട്സപ്പ് ചെയ്യുക. ഞാനത് കറക്റ്റ് ചെയ്ത് തരാം. സോ പഠനം തുടർന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുക. ഹോംവർക്ക് കറക്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുക. ഓക്കെ. ലോർഡ്സ് പബ്ലിക് സ്കൂളിൻ്റെ ഉദ്യമത്തിൽ നിങ്ങൾ ഭാഗമാകുക. നിങ്ങൾ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ഈ ക്ലാസ് കണ്ടതിന് ശേഷം കമൻറ്റ് ചെയ്യുക. തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും കമൻറ്റ് ചെയ്യുക. കമൻറ്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ നിങ്ങളുടെ പേര് ചേർത്ത് കമൻറ്റ് ചെയ്യുക. ഓരോ ക്ലാസ്സുകാരും പേര് ചേർത്ത് കമൻറ്റ് ചെയ്യുക. അപ്പോൾ ഈ ക്ലാസ് നിങ്ങൾ കണ്ടു എനിക്ക് മനസ്സിലാവും. അതിലുപരിയായിട്ട് ഞാൻ തരുന്ന വർക്കുകൾ നിങ്ങൾ ഫോളോ ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുക. നമ്മളെ ബാധിച്ചിരിക്കുന്ന കോവിഡ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന മഹാമാരി എത്രയും പെട്ടെന്ന് നമ്മളെ നിന്ന് വിട്ടുപോകാൻ സർവേശ്വരൻ നിങ്ങളെ എല്ലാവരെയും, നമ്മളെ ഓരോരുത്തരെയും അനുഗ്രഹിക്കട്ടെ എന്ന് പ്രാർത്ഥിച്ചുകൊണ്ടും മാനവരാശിയുടെ നിലനിൽപ്പിന് യാതൊരു ഭീഷണിയും ഉണ്ടാവാതെ മുന്നോട്ട് പോകട്ടെ എന്നും നമ്മുടെ വിദ്യാഭ്യാസ മേഖല വീണ്ടും ഉണർന്നു വരട്ടെ എന്ന് പ്രാർത്ഥിച്ചുകൊണ്ടും ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ ക്ലാസ് ഇവിടെ അവസാനിപ്പിക്കുന്നു. നന്ദി. ബൈ ഫ്രം രഞ്ജിത്ത്.